Oh, hang on. That's not the way it's supposed to go, is it? Here, I'm still getting things ready. Well, I'm live. I didn't get my intro going because I forgot to press the button, didn't I? Give me a second, eh? We've got to get a proper intro going. It's just not a proper show without a proper intro. It's just the professional thing to do, other than move things around on your desk while you're trying to get yourself ready and go, oh shit, that's right. I clicked the live button and didn't get this right. But hey, this is how we roll on the Cafe Locked-Out North Queensland Freedom Network thing. It's just live, it's spontaneous, and that's how it goes. So anyway, here's the intro, just so that you guys don't feel left out of the loop. G'day, freedom fighters and all you freedom lovers out there. How are we today? Sorry about that little hiccup right there at the beginning. This is a new feature here. It's supposed to do this auto intro thing, and kind of in my mind, I'd already set it up, but then I forgot to do it because I was setting up a whole bunch of other things that we need for today's show. This was going to be I'll just do a quick one and just sort of get it over because I've got so many things to do. But as usual, I get myself caught up in so many things, and boy, have I found a lot of stuff. And in the end, I've had to quickly slap a few other bits and pieces together to make this all sort of work. So,
Australia is very blessed, whether it's wind.
That's not what I meant to do. Apparently, Australia's very blessed. We'll get to that in a minute. Alrighty then. So, again, I was going to do some memes, but they kind of got given the flick in the end there because I had a whole bunch of other stuff to look at, but maybe I can quickly load them in and we can do some little stuffing around. Sorry, guys. So all you Sunday sippers out there, it's a long weekend for us here in Queensland. G'day, Adrian. How you going? I must send my condolences to everybody down south as well. You've just had that horrible daylight savings. Like, they're going to grab the daylight, shove it in a bank, and bring it out on those stormy days to keep them solar panels going. That's the kind of lunacy that we live in these days. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's like one of the local things that we get onto at some point here. But we might actually start with somebody's being very inconsiderate. They should know better. Anyway, so we've got a couple of petitions here. I did mean to put these in the comments, but I've been running around like a headless chook doing things more than I should. So That's the private chat. I don't want that one. I want this one. So I'm going to drop a link to this petition. You can find this stuff on the Queensland Parliament petition. And anybody who's interested in like just sort of keeping what up to date with what petitions are, when you sign them, you can actually click a little box down the bottom to be emailed and notified of any other petitions. That's kind of what I do. So I get a little email and I have a look. Go, oh yeah, that one's of interest. This being one of them. Object to Tara region energy developments. Although I don't particularly live in that region, I might want to visit one day, and I don't want to see the place destroyed for these non-renewable fucking eyesores. So the petition of the residents of the state of Queensland draws the attention to the House and the landholder objections to the Mardua, I think I say energy park. I like the way they call it an energy park. It's an industrial wind facility, and the Tara wind farm, it's not a farm, it's an industrial power plant development due to the impact of the local environment, animal habitat, land values, state and local roads, council rates, and increased risk of bushfire from these developments along the intergenerational visual pollution. There you go. Yeah, intergenerational. Yeah, I did read that right. Your petitioners therefore request the House do all within the power to urge these energy developers to not proceed with these projects due to Tara region's repetitive bushfire history and the impacts on the environment and visual pollution. I wholeheartedly agree with that, which is why I signed it, and I would encourage other people to do it too. Can people in New South Wales sign it? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it's open to the country. So, Struth, I mean, I don't see why not. Look, just because you live in New South Wales, you might want to visit there at some point. So, and that's something you can add into your own things. Like, hey, I want to go and check this region out. I'd like to go there in the future, and I don't want to see it, being absolutely destroyed. That's a valid argument and as an Australian voter to put forth. So, yeah, of course, Leander, that's right, I got it. You can, so on that point, yes, you most certainly can. G'day, Rachel. How you going? Nettie also said, I hate daylight savings. You know what? Daylight savings is friggin' torture as far as I'm concerned. And I was actually one thing I was going to have a look into was I remember reading in Operational Health and Work Safety Handbook at some point. Maybe some you awesome keyboard people out there can quickly have a look through and see if you can find something of that nature, where things like shift work and constantly changing your times around is actually damaging to your mental health. Personally, I hated daylight savings for that reason, because it took so long for my body clock to adjust. And for those who have been, out on country with me and whatnot, and gone, geez, what time it is? What time is it? I kind of look at the shadows and, and oh yeah, cool, it's about this time. And I'm usually right within about 15 minutes, because my body clock is in sync. I know what's going on. I can read the shadows and everything's in a nice, timely manner. When they go and adjust the clock, it totally throws me out. It fucked me good and proper. And they do it twice a year. And I reckon I spend a good 3 months of the year out of sync because these people are mucking with the clock. I personally think it's a psychological torture and it should be banned. Pick a time. I don't give a shit which one. Just pick one and be done with it. So that's my thoughts on the daylight savings scenario. And there was an article here. Nope, not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. No, where is it? It's around here somewhere. We're getting a quick preview of all the stuff that's nope. I'm just gonna go through one at a time until I bloody find it now, because it's all out of whack. Oh, is that it? Daylight savings, that's it. So we'll bring this forward. Excuse me. I'm allergic to bullshit. I'm also allergic to daylight savings. So I'm just going to bring that one forward so I don't get out of track later. Oh, how slimy. It's all down my arm and everything. Oh, wonderful. At least I didn't get it all over the lens. That would have been a wonderful special effect, So business leaders are calling for daylight saving to be introduced in southeast Queensland. So this is their idea to slowly creep it in. Once they get it in the southeast Queensland, they're going to torture the rest of Queensland as well. Oh, there's a sneeze in there. This is how they work, and they want to psychologically fuck you. That's why they do these things. It's to throw you out of whack. It is complete torture. I honestly, I disagree with it. So that's why I clicked no. Unfortunately, there's not really enough people clicking no. So, maybe on this one here, I can throw this in the comments too. Jump on that page and tell them, no, fuck off. Don't fucking psychologically rape me, please. There's a bunch of people say yes, but only down south. So I'm guessing these are all the North Queenslanders who don't want that shit to happen. 18%, from the Courier Mail have said, yeah, you can do it, just don't do it to me, But, by consenting to doing it to others, you're effectively saying, please do it to me as well. That's nuts. Grew up in New South Wales. No more. I'm a far North Queensland boy now. Yep. Good stuff. I grew up in Victoria and I'm a North Queensland fella myself too. I think I fit in a lot better here. Last bastion of Australia, really. Sips to that. And there you go. Rachel says, as a 22-year experienced shift worker, it does mess with your head. So, I mean, it's pretty obvious. I'm pretty sure that you probably find this psychological studies done on this. And like I said, I remember reading it in an operational health and safety workbook back in 2000 something or other when I was working at good old assholes manipulating people, as I called it, AMP. That was one of my shitty office jobs. Boy, I didn't like office jobs very much, mostly because of the people. I find office people just not quite as down to earth as the hands-on kind of people. But that's just my personal opinion. We'll look at some suits and ties in offices later. You might agree with me. Anyway, so that's the basic thing, and it happens every year. Should we go to daylight savings like everybody else? Because all us snooty CEOs and suit and tie people, we need to do business with Victoria and New South Wales, and when they change, it's just too hard for me to deal with because I'm a fuckwit. All right. That's pretty much how I perceive this situation going down. So we need to convince the rest of the population to go along with a bad idea because it suits a handful of idiots. So personally, no. I think what we should be doing is everybody in New South Wales and Victoria, and I think Adelaide. Does Adelaide do it as well? New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and South Australia all do it. So all 4 of you states should be protesting the shit out of it. If you hate it so much, and I jumped on Facebook and actually seen quite a lot of people having a bitch and a whinge about it, why the hell aren't you petitioning your local members to say, we want this shit to stop, pick a fucking time and be done with it? This is madness. We don't need this shit. It's just part of the natural cycle of the summer and winter thing, that whole climate change. Well, there's this thing called freaking season change as well. It's seasonally changes, it's part of the climate changing. It's also, relative to these things. So anyway, enough on that. I personally think everybody who's living in, these poor, tortured places, New South Wales, Victoria, Tasmania, and South Australia, if you're not happy, say it loud and clear. Let them know before they try and convert Queensland and Northern Territory or Western Australia. The last 3 places in the planet on the country have gone, you know what, this is a stupid idea and it fucks with my head. All right. I don't mind the longer days. Victoria, can you please elaborate there? Because I see a really bad joke going in your direction. It's like, I remember there was one time, somebody wrote into a newspaper a long, long time ago. The old man still brings it up to this day, where, some Yahoo wrote in basically saying that they don't like daylight savings because it bleaches their curtains. Just because you move the clocks doesn't mean there's more sunshine. And again, the term daylight savings is a fucking stupid term. Like, where's this? How are you saving it? Can I bring it out in the middle of winter when it's fuck all daylight and I've got to get out of bed in the dark because I live in Victoria or Tasmania, somewhere down there? Get out of bed in the dark, come home in the dark. Well, quick, get into the daylight savings account. We need some daylight so I can see the road on the way home. Like, what the fuck? It's a stupid term. Anything, you're not saving shit. You're not saving shit. Like I said, cool. Daylight savings. Oh, cool. It's a cloudy day. Quick, reach into this daylight savings bank and bring it out. My solar panels are doing 2/5 of fuck all right now. Anyway, Next one, there's another petition, electronic petitions in local councils. So the Queensland citizens draw to the attention of the House that all councils and cities in Queensland refuse to have electronic petitions for their citizens. This means so many people are precluded from asking their councillors and elected city officials to do something for the community. Sunshine Coast Council currently requires 10 sheets of paper showing the petition and each with a signature. Your petitioners therefore request the House to alter the Local Government Act 2009 and Local Government Regulations 2012 and the relevant Brisbane City Acts to include a compulsory part requiring they conduct electronic petitions to be answered by council. I think it's a good idea because, truth, I work my guts out all the time. Those of us who are doing, 10 plus hours a day don't have time to run around the streets going, oh, can you please sign this for me, sir? Like we're just done for. So that's another good one that I recommend, particularly for us Queenslanders. And if you've got a similar situation down south, maybe you should look into jumping on board for yourselves and creating a petition in your own thing. I reckon that's definitely a good one. Of course, if you're watching this on one of those channels where you can't get this comment or whatever, what I'll do, actually, I'm going to chuck these things into my Telegram. I think this is the efficient way to do things from here on in. I'll grab that petition as well. Is I'm going to just chuck a lot of these links and things into my Telegram thing. So it's really easy for people to just go, cool, what did I miss? Where are my links? It'll all be in Telegram. If I miss something, just shoot me an email. I'll put it in there. So again, for people who perhaps are going to find this later and oh, Struth, I really wanted to watch that live, but I didn't get a notification or something. Again, I'll post links to the shows directly in that Telegram account as well. I just want a one-stop shop because obviously time is of the essence. I work a lot. And it's just a bit painful to try and keep up with everything, So I think Telegram is the best way to do it. It's a very easy app to use, and you can have it once you set it up on your phone. You can link it to your computer, and I send information backwards and forwards to myself using that all the time. Anyway, electronic petitions in local councils. We did that one. We are moving on to the next one. Electoral Commission of Queensland to address the problems experienced by voters in the 2024 local elections. Now, this is an interesting one because I recall that here in Townsville, we actually had one of the lowest votes, like the most amount of people saying I'm not even going to vote happened in this particular election. And I think we'll find a lot more of that because people are becoming very disillusioned with the whole process. But that said, according to the LGE 2014 review, 36% of voters were dissatisfied with the polling process, and 29% of election day voters queued longer than 30 minutes. At the end of the day, come on, guys, let's make it nice and easy for people, So this is one to sort of deal with that, and actually goes on to local 16th of March. Some voters didn't cast their vote due to long queues, lack of ballot papers. Now that's fucking shit. You don't have enough ballot papers for people to do it. Like, come on. That's pretty shit on the electoral process. What is it? The Queensland Electoral Commission or whatever they're called. Electoral Commission of Queensland. Yep. Lack of information regarding absentee voting. Lack of staff and queues still waiting after official closing time. That's very badly organised. This election was disorganised and under-resourced. The two-week pre-polling failed to gain support and was not available in all divisions. And I've heard that sort of thing happening around here too. Like I think so. If you're watching, Mark James, didn't you had an issue as well? I believe if you want to drop a comment there, if you're seeing this, I remember he had a bit of a whinge about it, as you do, because just a pain in the ass. I think he went to one polling booth and they told him, no, that's not, you're in the wrong area. You have to go to your area. It's like, but that got a stupidly long queue and there's no one here. So I think it was something to that effect. I'm just paraphrasing and just hoping that I got it right. So anyway, let's have a look what else we got. Citizens Go, I've also got one there. Actually, better put that in Telegram for other people too. All right. And Citizens Go, copy. I'll drop that into there. Gotta love this flying by the seat of the pants last minute shit. Hey, one of these days I'll have enough money to make this my job. And, there'll be enough. Here's a good opportunity to bring it up. We're Patreons. Do consider becoming a Patreon. Big thanks to old mate. Oh, sorry, I forgot to log in. Sorry, I can't remember your name, but there was a wonderful person. Actually, I might be able to find it here because I got this open. Oh my God, how many emails have I got? No. Well, there was a wonderful person. I'll have to go through it and find it. Sorry, I'm very, very sorry, mate. You're still a new one to the mind. It'll sink in, and yeah. I've excused myself many times, but thanks for becoming a new Patreon and that very wonderful donation, man. That's really good. I'm going to use that to help promote this network a little bit, and I've already bought a few new toys. So wonderful new light, which has helped accentuate the wonderful Batman logo that was brought forth to me by my good friend Mark James. Thank you very much, my friend. Doesn't it look awesome? Because you feel a bit safer with Batman over your shoulder, eh? So do consider becoming a patron, because when there is enough Patreons, I won't be making such a meal of this, and I can perhaps make shorter shows and do little snippets and things like that to make it easier for those who don't have the time to sit here for 4 hours. I know it really upsets the Townsville Bulletin and the mainstream media when they have to sit there for 4 hours of shit and make themselves look like absolute dickheads when they say something like Blackboard was Troy Thompson, hence the fail of the universe. Maybe I should change that. Failure of the universe. Maybe that'll be the next evolution for those bloody monkeys who can't do their jobs properly. Sips, feeble, sips. So anyway, all that aside, copy. Did I punch that into the comments? No, I didn't. No, I did. Cool. That one got did. All right. They got did. That was good English. That was. Stop the WHO's accelerated push to finalize the pandemic treaty. We all know how much fun we had with the pandemic treaty, with the idea of what happened in the last, what was it? Agenda 21. You've just lived through Agenda 21. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Wait for Agenda 2030. It's going to be even better, because sequels are always better. Look at Empire Strikes Back. But anyway, before we go further, I think I'm going to have to say, YouTubers, I'm really sorry, but PooTube just won't let me talk shit. It won't let me say what's really happening. So PooTubers, I'm gonna have to wipe you, because we're gonna especially soon come across some things that PooTube doesn't like. It doesn't like the truth. It doesn't like reality. It fucks with your perception, And what's really important about perception is how you perceive the world is how you're going to respond. The powers that be are aware of this situation, and I'd just like to give everyone a timely reminder. I know, I mentioned Empire Strikes Back, but let's go to Return of the Jedi, a very important quote here.
So what I told you was true, from a certain point of view.
A certain point of view?
Luke, you're going to find that many of the truths we cling to depend greatly on our own point of view.
Which is why they need to control your point of view, and that is why PooTube is getting the wipe. So if you want your point of view expanded so you can make better informed decisions, you're going to have to go into the Linktree thing there, find any of the other platforms, because all of them haven't banned me yet. Although, they did have a go at Cafe Lockdown on Facebook, and we've got the longest ban in history, but that's another story. Anyway, bye-bye PooTube. Wipe time.